Bryan Brulotte was born in 1965, the son of a career soldier. At age 13, he began following in his dad's combat boots when he joined a cadet corps in Montreal. 4 years later, Brulotte enrolled at the Collège Militaire Royal. The challenge and discipline of military life suited Brulotte. He was posted to Germany, commanded an infantry reconnaissance platoon, earned his French commando badge, served a UN tour in Cyprus, and acted as an aide-de-camp to the Governor-General. In 1993, he made the bold move to try his hand in politics. However, in the election that year, his cabinet minister lost his seat, and Brulotte lost his job. This led him to try his hand at entrepreneurship. Founding Human Resources International, Brulotte made a job for himself, finding other people job placements. In 1997, he changed the name to Maxsys, and the rest is history. From a humble start, there are now 14 Maxsys offices nationwide, placing over 14,000 personnel annually, with gross earnings now topping $100 million per year. Brulotte can rightfully be considered a captain of industry.
Good afternoon, this is Francesca D'Ambrosio, and I am here hosting Captain of Industry. Today's incredible guest is the illustrious Mr. Bryan Brulotte.
Illustrious, thank you.
Illustrious, welcome. So good to have you.
I'm very, very pleased to be here.
Well, great. So if we could just jump right into it, if you just describe briefly, what is your job? What is your role now?
As chairman of Maxsys, today what I do is I run the company from a strategic point of view, setting the vision and the goals. I have an outstanding executive team who run the day-to-day operations from across the country, and I'm no longer involved in the day-to-day operations of the organization.
Right. And so how many years has this been?
It's a labor of love. It's been 30 years, actually. Wow. Almost 30 years. 1993 when I first started. And it's been ups and downs, but we've had a very good run the last 20 years, and here we are today.
Incredible. And so how did you become interested in the world of defense industry?
Well, defense really came naturally to me from my experience with the military, either through cadets, the Royal Military College, my regiment, the Royal 22e Régiment. But in terms of choosing defense as one of the key areas for our client base, that was more out of simply having a series of contacts who required recruitment and staffing and consulting services.
Right, interesting. And how did you get into the field?
Well, that was a different story. That the reality is I was desperate.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Okay.
So when I left the military, I actually went to a minister's office as the deputy chief of staff to the Minister of Public Works Government Services Canada. However, 6 months later, we lost the election, and as a result, I lost my job. And unfortunately, I couldn't find one. I couldn't find a job. No one would hire me.
Right.
So I decided to build a business from the ground up in my basement.
And so are you looking to place people with a military background so to help them transfer those skills over?
Well, that is part of one of the programs actually that we have. We place about 1,000 veterans and active reservists into jobs across Canada every single year. However, the other 13,000 placements we do, they come from the general community.
Okay. So when you wake up one day, you're desperate, as you said, and you look to do this. What steps did you take to get there?
Well, the first step I did was I had an opportunity to meet with a veteran who was already in the staffing industry. This is back in 1993. And he kind of showed me the ropes the first few weeks, but then I went and bought myself a phone book, and which they used to have.
Yeah.
And then I went through the yellow pages, and I started with the A's and started calling 100 calls a day.
Oh my goodness.
And I found clients, and eventually I was able to find candidates and fill the roles. That's how it started.
And the rest is history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So maybe you could tell me a standout moment in your career during this time?
A standout moment? Oh my goodness. I'm not sure if I should say about the highs or the lows. Because they're both standing
in the middle,
out.
yeah.
Okay, something in the middle. I think a standout moment was when I decided finally, and this is around 2001, that we were going to create a national company, not just an Ottawa-based staffing and recruitment firm, but a national staffing and recruitment firm. And that led to a whole series of efforts, which culminated finally in a series of acquisitions starting in 2010. And we did 8 acquisitions across Canada. And I say we, me and my team and I, we did 8 acquisitions across Canada to build a national company.
Wow. Sounds like your timing was perfect.
I'm not sure. Because we had tried to, I think again, desperation kind of worked its way in there somewhere.
Right.
Because we tried to build a national company through organic growth as of 2005. And when the Great Recession hit back in 2008, we had to shut down all those branch offices and start again in 2010.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
you learn you learn and then brush it off.
Yeah.
And
You
get
fail
back up.
fast and you get back up and keep going.
Kiddo. Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Right. So what have you experienced besides, obviously, that little blip on the radar? Did you ever experience anything that you found to be insurmountable, that you had
No.
to pivot? Or
Never. What's happened, I have an attitude and an outlook towards life, which is, I'm my own Lexus of control and I can make things happen. And I never accept defeat, and I never accept to take maybe a victim's posture on my life and what comes in front of me. So no, nothing is unachievable.
do you think that's your military training that gave you that, or is that good old backbone?
A little bit of both, a little A and B, but I can say that the military really reinforced the sense of resilience and stick-to-itiveness. You never quit. You keep going, and you never ever quit.
So tell me what you'll be working on in 2022. Do you have any specific goals? Or?
We do. Now, without getting into the top secret stuff, which I can't really share for commercial confidential
Fair
reasons, we're always growing.
Right.
That's what we do at Maxsys. We're always growing, looking for new opportunities and recruitment and staffing and new clients in different sectors. And I think at this stage, although we have 14, 15 offices across the country right now, what we want to do is we want to double that. And 2022 is when we start to increase the number of branch offices across Canada.
It's very, very ambitious.
Thank you.
And I'm somehow zero doubt that you'll do it. So tell me, what are some personal things maybe about you that, looking in from the outside, someone would be surprised to hear about you?
I think that people will be surprised to know just to what extent I enjoy helping others. The company and myself and my family were actively involved in a number of charities across Canada and especially in Ottawa, and to a degree within the military community, the veterans community. And I think someone from the outside might not be aware of that. So that's something that I really value and cherish is giving back. The other element is I have 4 dogs at home.
Okay.
Yes, so yes, I have a zoo, and it's a lot of fun.
So, dog-loving philanthropist.
Oh, absolutely. That's
love
me.
that.
That's me.
That's great in a nutshell.
That's it.
That was easy.
Nothing more to know.
I'm sure that's not true. Well, thank you so much for coming. It's been great, getting an insight as to, what you're doing and this incredible, enterprise that you've built clearly from the ground up, out of, as you said, desperation. And it's a very inspiring story. So thank you very much for coming and sharing it.
It's been a pleasure being here. Thank you.